Hi everybody, my name's Cheese, and today I'm going to be trying to persuade you all on why zoos are not needed. I'm start with this video right here.
A day of panic and desperation at the Cincinnati Zoo.
We're getting our second run to Cincinnati Zoo, and this is in a gorilla cage, and a 3-year-old child has fallen into the gorilla cage.
A boy slips into the zoo's gorilla habitat and over a moat wall. Suddenly, Harambe, a 17-year-old, 400-pound gorilla, approaches the boy. His mother watches in horror at what happens next.
Mommy's right here!
The young boy screams. The urgent calls to 911 can be heard on this bystander video. The family tries desperately to keep him calm as Harambe takes him out of sight. Harambe drags the boy around the moat and up a ladder for a total of 10 minutes, as the zoo's dangerous animal response team anxiously decides what to do next.
The little boy himself had already been talking about wanting to go in, get in the water, and his mother's like, no, you're not. I don't know if the screaming did it or too many people hanging on the edge, if he thought we were coming in, but then he, pulled the boy down further away from the big group.
Engine 32. The police, the gorilla has the child, and it dragged him around the pen.
Officials considered the incident so threatening, deciding Harambe must be taken down immediately.
The reason that tranquilizing was not chosen is in an agitated situation, which the male was, it may take quite a while for a tranquilizer to take effect. But certainly at the instant he hit, he would have a dramatic response. You don't hit him, he falls over in a few minutes. The child wasn't under attack, but all sorts of things could happen in a situation like that. So he certainly was at risk.
They say their only option, a rifle. Harambe was shot and killed. The child was taken to Cincinnati's Children's Hospital with non-life-threatening injuries.
We have rescued the child. We disregard everybody. Children have been notified for trauma.
It's a sad day all the way around. The right choice was made. It was a difficult choice.
Harambe was a western lowland gorilla, a critically endangered species. The zoo had hoped he would eventually father other gorillas.
We love this zoo. It's very friendly and everything is beautiful here. But when you see something like that and then you have the disappointment, because what do you say to your grandchildren?
Well, Harambe was killed and was later buried because a boy just wanted to get in the pit with him and get in his habitat and in his enclosure, but it was just a bad situation for everyone involved. I want to persuade you all to inform you guys about why you should not support zoos in which they are exotic animals caged up in small confined areas that does not benefit them. There have been countless times in which exotic animals have been killed or have died because of bad habitat issues, such as polar bears, which recently just happened in the St. Louis Zoo. In the expo transport, 2 of them died out of 6. So that's one incident. Another one that I have right here was in 2016. In Texas, Kansas, and Nebraska, 14 expert scientists tried to bring some giraffes in from South Africa, but 7 of them died in a transport accident again in 2016. Which is a really crucial point because they're endangered species. A lot of endangered species are trying to get to better habitat, but a lot of the animals are endangered because of humans. Take for instance, in Africa, a lot of them are getting hunted to extinction because of the fact that certain people want to have their skin or their tusks like elephants. Like elephants are endangered, giraffes are endangered, lions, tigers. A lot of them are endangered because of human wants and needs and necessities. If we didn't have those wants, needs, and necessities because we feel that they are, I would say, but they are valuable to us because we need other species on Earth. but for our own wants and our own personal wants and own personal needs does not really benefit them to any extent, which is why we don't really need zoos and really don't need them to be around us like that, because it just depends. It's just their things too, their species too. They all have to live and they have to do their own thing. So if us humans just keep putting them in confined areas, which, for example, if you put a lion in a habitat, it is about 1,000 times smaller than its regular domain of range, which means that they are not used to being in such confined foreign spaces, and people just feeding them certain foods all the time. Some of them take a long time to get used to that, and some of them have to get to other zoos because they don't get used to being around certain things like that. Another example was with Shamu, the orca. They ended up killing the trainer because it was in a small fish tank, and it was basically paranoid about what was going on around them. Usually orcas like to play a lot. They have like little baby teeth the size of bananas and stuff. They're real giggling and things. But I had a video in a movie documentary that I found called Blackfish, which the trainer got killed with playing with the the orca. And basically it showed what happened leading up to those moments inside the facility and whatnot, and how they held all their whales and fish in certain confined containments where basically they can't really move for real. They're like stuck. Versus when they're free, they're able to swim around, doing things, jump down, all that. Which is why keeping exotic animals and treating them like regular species, like as if they're a dog or something, does not really benefit them. Also, oh my God, I'm sorry, I'm kind of getting doesn't sound right, but I'm kind of with it. Zoos claim to protect perfect species from extinction. It sounds real good and noble, but the goal is to favor erotic and endangered species wildlife. The Chinese government, for example, rents pandas to zoos for wildlife fees of more than $1 million a year. Some question whether the profits are actually going towards pandas and conservation efforts at all. 13 most likely housed zoos are not even endangered, and those who are more likely to be released to natural habitats because of bad treatment due to zoos nationwide. So that right there kind of tells you why a lot of animals that are in zoos are actually not being taken care of properly, because a lot of animals under zoo protection are actually dying. And some of them don't have the resources to actually take care of them, so they have to move into other zoos consistently until they die in one zoo. Have you ever heard of think about it like this. A lot of trainers and a lot of people get hurt by animals that are enclosed in certain zoo habitats, right? If you think about it. Just really think about it. If so many animals are hurting so many people, why do you have them locked up in somewhere they're not used to? You would avoid the whole situation if you just leave them alone and just let them do their thing. And not hunt them, not bother them, just let them do what they need to do in order to reproduce, in order to live, in order to survive. Stop hunting them, stop trying to lock them up, and just let them roam and be free. A lot of this wouldn't even be an issue if we wouldn't stop just worrying about ourselves before worrying about them. Now, there are certain people out there that are actually trying to help animals, such as in the rainforest, they're trying to regrow trees because a lot of them are getting chopped down for cable lines, but a lot of them are regrowing trees just so certain toucans and certain birds will be able to fly and have branches to sit on, and monkeys and things of that nature. But it's going to be a long way to get back to what we once were, because a lot of animals are still in danger, and the list is continuing to grow. So in order for us to fix that, we need to let them just be and not have no zoos, period, because it doesn't benefit nobody but ourselves. Thank you.